Browns QB Shedeur Sanders confronts demotion after 3 INT outing. The NFL has a way of stripping comfort from young quarterbacks, and for Shedeur Sanders, the lesson arrived loudly and without apology on a gray, frozen afternoon in Chicago. 1 week after flashing poise and promise, the Cleveland Browns rookie found himself staring down the reality that nothing in this league is permanent. Not a starting job, not public confidence, not even the narrative you thought you were building. After a 3-interception performance in a 31-3 loss to the Bears, Sanders didn't hide from the moment or soften his words. He confronted it directly, with a blunt honesty that revealed both his awareness of the stakes and his refusal to live in fear of them. The numbers told a grim story. Sanders finished the day 18 of 35 for 177 yards with 3 interceptions, as Cleveland unraveled in every conceivable phase. The offense stalled almost immediately, the defense cracked under sustained pressure, and mistakes compounded until the game felt decided well before the fourth quarter arrived. Chicago dictated the tone from the opening drive, playing fast, physical, and opportunistic, while the Browns looked disjointed and overwhelmed. For Sanders, making just his 4th NFL start, it was the kind of afternoon that forces a quarterback to confront the gap between potential and execution. 2 of the interceptions were squarely on him, the result of misreads and late decisions against a defense that disguised coverages and closed windows with veteran precision. Bears defenders made strong, decisive plays on the ball, capitalizing on hesitation and punishing every mistake. The 3rd interception, though, was the kind that twists the knife. Sanders delivered a flawless end-zone throw, a fade placed exactly where it needed to be. It hit Jerry Jeudy cleanly in the chest, momentarily promising a touchdown that could have shifted momentum. Instead, the ball bounced free, and Chicago cornerback Jalen Johnson snatched it away, turning a potential score into a demoralizing takeaway. In a league where results matter more than intent, it still went down as another interception next to Sanders' name. Earlier in the week, the Browns had announced that Sanders would start for the remainder of the season, a vote of confidence meant to provide stability as Cleveland plays out a difficult year. But Sanders took little comfort in that declaration. To him, security in the NFL is an illusion, something that can vanish in an instant. When asked about his status, he didn't speak like a quarterback clinging to reassurance. He spoke like someone who understands exactly where he is. "You know what league we're in?" Sanders said. "You can lose your job at any point in time, so you don't play with fear. When you live and play in fear, then you'll never be yourself. So I don't play or live in fear." He went further, framing his approach not around guarantees or promises, but around presence. Whatever situation he's in, he said, he's in it fully. Whatever happens, happens. Worrying about demotion or the future only pulls you out of the moment. And for Sanders, the moment is the only place growth actually happens. Inside the Browns building, that mindset is part of why head coach Kevin Stefanski has remained committed to the rookie, even after a performance that would rattle most young quarterbacks. Stefanski didn't declare Sanders the long-term answer, nor did he gloss over the mistakes. Instead, he spoke about progress, the kind that doesn't always show up cleanly on Sundays. He sees it in practice. He sees it in preparation. And he understands that development at quarterback is rarely linear. "He's a young player that's making progress, like we've talked about all week," Stefanski said. "I see it in games. I get to see it in practice. There's going to be ups and downs to young players, particularly the quarterback position. So we'll learn from it, and we'll be better next week." It was a measured response, neither an endorsement nor a warning, but an acknowledgement of reality. Cleveland is evaluating more than results right now. It's evaluating response. Sanders, for his part, leaned into that evaluation. He spoke about the Bears' defense with respect, even admiration, calling their scheme a challenge he genuinely enjoyed facing. He talked about learning, about understanding exactly what went wrong once he studies the film, and about applying those lessons quickly. For a quarterback in his position, Facing a losing season and relentless scrutiny, that willingness to engage with adversity rather than recoil from it matters. But Sanders' journey hasn't unfolded quietly, and neither have the reactions to his struggles. He remains a polarizing figure, a former Colorado star whose confidence and pedigree draw as much attention as his play. Veteran defenders around the league have noticed, and some have been more than happy to remind him where he stands. A week earlier, the Tennessee Titans defense mocked Sanders' signature celebration after forcing a turnover. In Chicago, the tone grew sharper. Bears defensive back C.J. Gardner-Johnson didn't mince words after the game, framing the matchup as a lesson delivered. He said it was about time Sanders ran into some problems, acknowledging his talent while emphasizing the reality of facing seasoned professionals with their own motivations. Gardner-Johnson spoke about teaching a rookie how to stay in a rookie's place, a comment that reflected both the edge veterans carry and the target Sanders now wears. Those moments, the celebrations, the quotes, the subtle jabs, are part of what comes with visibility. Sanders has never shied away from it. His confidence, inherited and cultivated, has always been part of his identity. Now, the league is pushing back, testing whether that confidence bends or breaks under pressure. Chicago was one such test, and it arrived at a time when Cleveland's foundation is already unstable. The Browns sit near the bottom of the standings, a team searching for direction amid injuries, inconsistency, and unanswered questions at nearly every position. Sanders is being asked to grow in the middle of that chaos, to learn NFL speed behind a battered offensive line, to throw into tight windows with little margin for error, and to lead veterans while still figuring out the league himself. Days like this expose every flaw in high definition. And yet, what lingers after the Bears' loss isn't just the interceptions or the lopsided score. It's Sanders' refusal to frame the moment as a crisis. He didn't talk like a quarterback worried about losing his job. He talked like one who understands that fear is the fastest way to lose yourself. In the NFL, demotion is always a possibility, especially for a rookie drafted in the 5th round. Sanders doesn't deny that. He simply refuses to let it dictate how he plays. Cleveland's schedule offers no soft landing. The Browns host the Buffalo Bills next, followed by divisional matchups against the Cincinnati Bengals and Pittsburgh Steelers to close the season. Each game brings another defense, another set of veterans eager to test him, another opportunity to either reinforce doubt or chip away at it. For Sanders, the evaluation is ongoing, week by week, rep by rep. The Bears game will sit on tape as a reminder of how fast things can unravel and how unforgiving the league can be when mistakes pile up. It will also serve as a reference point, a moment Sanders can return to as he measures growth. He knows the job is never truly safe. He knows respect is earned repeatedly, not granted once. And he knows that fear has no place in his process. For a rookie quarterback confronting the possibility of demotion, that perspective may be the most valuable thing he carries forward. The NFL will keep testing him. Veterans will keep talking. Results will keep swinging. What remains to be seen is whether Sanders' approach, grounded in presence rather than panic, can steady him through the turbulence ahead. In a season defined by collapse around him, his response to adversity may ultimately say more about his future than any single stat line ever could.